What's up, Jill? What's up,
Hey
Josh?
everybody, what's up?
What's going on?
What's up?
There's the man himself. There's Tim. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Better late than never. I always
Yeah.
say. But hey, it's
Depending on what
okay
you're
to
talking about. Something's never's better.
we'll just call it fashionably late. So
My fashion is horrible. So
it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Oh,
You know what we can call it? We can name this now.
oh yeah.
Corona fashion. Look what I'm
Corona
wearing.
fashion.
this isn't Corona.
What is that? Mike's?
Nope. Let's play the
Henry's?
guessing game. We might as well. It's a good way to start.
Natty Light. That's what it is. Natty Light Orange.
Oh hell no.
Is it Henry's?
Nope.
Killian's?
Who? It has my favorite alcohol in it. If you remember from before, I've told you this.
I forget.
Vodka?
Doing all that posting
No.
stuff.
Who's
Although
the
they're not
vodka
bad.
drinker?
Try again.
Is it Silas? That's the vodka drinker?
That's who the
Right.
vodka drinker is. That's right, Silas.
Silas is about good.
Are you tequila?
No. Although I do like
Is it a rum or whiskey?
it's a type of whiskey.
Jack
Bourbon.
Daniels.
What?
Bourbon or Jack
What do
Daniels?
you- Jack Daniels. Down
Jack-
home punch.
Okay.
I should have guessed that. You know, I'm not used to seeing the bigger bottles because they used to only come in the
I
small
know.
ones.
That's why I picked it up.
That's what threw
You
me
said
off.
Jackie
He was
Because I,
being on lockdown, blah blah blah. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna grab a 6-pack.
right. So how's everybody doing?
Great.
All right.
Cool. Let me get to the video real quick. Let me set my thing up real quick. I'm going to no, get off there. Get off my screen. There we go. Hey, Cassie.
He's in the other room.
Well, I see her on the chat, so
Oh,
she was the first one to speak. So, hello,
Hello.
as I always do when
she spoke and I never heard a word. She spoke quietly.
she's
Are you okay?
slick like that. So, guys,
yes.
Tim already knows.
Yep.
Juice head.
A
Is that pineapple grapefruit?
Yep,
good
Isn't
job?
that amazing?
it's wonderful.
It is.
It is.
I was going to get the blueberry lemon, but the only thing I had it in was either zero or in menthol. And I did try the menthol because I don't mind menthol as
I
long
haven't
as it's
tried
not.
that one.
It's pretty strong. I will tell you, it's pretty strong on the menthol side. I'm used to a menthol like in my normal, like in these here, but because it's a mellow type menthol. What's up, Drip Tip?
That
Drip tube.
and that.
Nice. What is the one in your left hand? Yep.
This one.
Yep.
That's
Is that
the
apple?
the last bottle the shop will would ever have had of the sweet mint gum by Pop. That candy pop.
Very cool. Matter of fact, do y'all remember the Tort juices? Wasn't very popular. Yeah, Bat was actually giving bottles of it away last night. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need none of that. It's at the point that you look at it and you can literally pick it up like that. And it normally it has kind of that yellow pea color like a normal sugary juice is. And you can't even see through it now. It's so black. Yeah.
Might have a new one soon. As soon as it comes out, they're waiting for the labels to come in. Might be some new juice that I really can't wait to try. Might be another daily, maybe. Want to go with good with coffee.
Nice.
I won't bring it up until it comes out and I get it. I want it to be a surprise.
Cassie, I agree. The blueberry lemon is way better.
The blueberry
This is
lemon
good. Don't get me wrong.
better.
It's really good. And it's something, it's different. That's what I like
It
about it. I
is.
like the
It
little
is
hint of the
different.
grapefruit that you get. But I do like the blueberry lemon better, but I just wasn't going to do zero or menthol because Juice Head's menthols are just, they're just a little bit too
I've got
much on the
two
menthol.
juices that are my all day, every days, but it depends on the build I have. If it's a warmer build, Shamrock Cookie by
Yeah,
Bad
That's a
Boy.
good one on a nice warm
But if
build.
you got a nice cooler build, that blueberry lemon is just
Yeah.
I can do that all day long.
Right. That's like this one.
But I have these, so I'm gonna vape them because it tastes good.
These either the cool or the regular Blue Frost. It's good on the warm side.
Looks like the grape is okay on the Jam Monster. I prefer the blackberry. I have not tried the blueberry.
It's honestly, it's not that good. In my opinion, it's not that good, and I just don't like grape vape juices. I don't like grapes that much. So
Yeah, when
I
got
like
the dollar
grapes. I
flavors,
just
that's
don't
all.
like.
So,
I don't like grape juice. Yeah. So, what's up there, you sexy beast, Michael? Glad you could make it tonight. How are you doing in this
for a second,
chaos?
it's like talking
Staying
shit.
pretty busy?
Chaos.
How is everybody doing during this isolation phase?
I'm not isolated yet. I'm not fully hit with it. I mean, there is some stuff going on. Our restaurants are being limited to carry out or drive through only. Even though the dining rooms, he still had, I think that's supposed to change this weekend, but 50% capacities in the restaurants. We're not really seeing that because a lot of the restaurants are just saying, screw it, close. And good news, though. Good news. The Crystals on 9 Mile Road, and I don't know if any of you know what Crystals is. It's the knockoff of White Castle, which is very shitty.
Okay.
Not only were they closed, they had a real estate sign on the front of their property, so that's a good thing. That means Crystals no
you
more
okay?
there, and it just opened like 8 months ago.
Realize
It's
that
a
came through on
brand
the
new
live, right?
restaurant, and they're already closing it. So,
You
but
okay?
our beaches are closed. I'm still
You
working.
here?
No mandatory
Sorry.
home isolations yet. Of course, with your elderly that may be in assisted living or something, for them. That's still kind of played on the area itself. So, but that's about all that's going on here.
I got an important news update.
Yes.
Apparently, when you're braiding your hair and that rubber band snaps, you scream really loudly.
I have a bump on my finger.
She welted her finger. She's wrapping up her hair, and I heard this, ow, like what?
We've all done it.
I was very supportive. I laughed good and hard.
All right.
Good.
Yep. Josh, how's your world there,
Number two?
buddy?
Busy as ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little worried about you guys because y'all
We're
were
open.
kind of like West Virginia for the longest time. It was like all around you, but where you're at, and then all of a sudden it's like bam.
Mhm.
I
Crazy.
watch DeWine every day. 2:00 is when they'll start going live.
Yep.
Tomorrow, I have a feeling tomorrow's going to be the way he was talking today. He was going to make some major announcements tomorrow. He said so.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be an important day.
Yep. I had seen it. I'd seen some stuff where he was. They had kind of was talking about what he had posted. Some other friends that lived there, and they were saying the same thing. It's supposed to be having some impertinent news coming tomorrow. So.
Well, the problem is nobody's really. I mean, people are staying inside, but people are still going to work. People are still coming in.
You warn me.
It's
Okay,
now
let's
granted,
say loud.
like during like
I've got
lunch rush and dinner rush are normally about the times it gets really busy.
Right.
But because people are getting out of work.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to see how many people are still working at this point, and like you know, I asked them, like, are you guys thinking about closing? They're like, well, we're kind of essential because there's a lot of car dealerships and stuff like that. So like for trucks and stuff like that need to get worked on, they need to stay open so they can get worked on and whatnot. So it kind of falls into weird hands.
Right. I want to touch on that essential a little bit later. You know what I'm talking about. So
yes.
Shell, how's the Cape Cod life right now? Pretty chaotic, I'm taking it.
Yeah, just picture a whirlpool with a drain. It's just slowly just about to completely fall because it's just craziness. It's over 500 cases now. Nobody's listening. And
no, they're listening. The thing, and I seen the thing about Baker, which kind of upset me a little bit today because they're trying, he is trying to make it like they're not getting what they're needing. And they're, you know, when you're bidding on these tests and these masks and stuff like that, yeah, there's other states, there's other entities that are also trying to get these supplies. So it's not like we can't stop everything in the world just to help this area out or this state or this state. We have to try to ration it out the best we can. You know, we have a bunch of people that's trying to get the stuff. What we decide to do is we pull back and we try to basically spread it out evenly the best we can. I mean, that's all they can do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan.
You know,
not to stop the virus. It's to slowly let it out so you can have enough capacity in your hospitals to take care of it. That's what the whole plan is with this. Mm-hmm. It's not to stop all commerce. It's to limit to basic needs so that you can continue on and less people are filling up the hospitals so they don't get overwhelmed.
Right.
Well, it's stressful, like in a sense for me, because I really, really care about my customers, and I have a lot of customers that are 60s, 70s, 80s. It's like to the point now where it's turned from being like a fun, you know, situation to being a very serious situation because of, like, I had one of my elderly regulars come in today. He has MS, and it's like, and I, you know, when I have elderly people in there, I make sure to lock everybody else out. And I also did a thing today that my owner suggested to me, and it's actually a good idea in a lot of ways. So I was starting to get overwhelmed, like, and so she told me to put a note on the door that said only two people inside at a time. So it actually really worked because one, it's going to be less people in there, and two, I'm not going to get overwhelmed worrying, making sure that everybody's okay and nobody, you know, it's a serious thing. In the beginning, we're all like, oh, it's just a little regular flu, and then now it's gotten serious, and it's infuriating me because nobody around here, at least in the town I work in, is taking this seriously.
It's not just there, Shell. It's everywhere. There's people everywhere.
Has your store considered doing a lot of stores around here are starting to do, and putting up a sign for like the first half an hour to an hour you're open every morning, recommending the elderly come in at that time and only accept the elderly patients for the first half an hour to an hour of business. So they're less likely to contract the virus since it's most dangerous for them.
Yep.
Yeah, my customer with MS, I made sure everybody was out. My 77-year-old customer, I made sure everybody stayed out. Didn't let her touch the door. You know, it's just, I have to be very particular, prestigious. Like, I have to really pay attention to what's going on.
But the thing too that is very important out of all this, Shell, and that's for especially everybody in like retail, restaurants, nursing, you have to remain strong. Mm-hmm. You can't show your weakness, because if you show your weakness, it's gonna be like a virus. Other people are gonna catch on. You want to try to keep the spirits lifted, you know.
Because and I was thinking too, the thing is, like, the vape shop is the one place that people can come to and not have to worry about getting people running into them, stealing their stuff, getting trampled for toilet paper. They can come in there and and just get what they need and just get a break from everything going on. Like, and we're talking about actually putting a sign on the window that says, please do not talk about the coronavirus when you come in. Like, it's gotten that crazy.
You know, the thing is, the problem with that, Shell, is everybody is going to talk about it. It's reality. It's there. You can't shut it out, you know?
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to figure out a way for
And
you that's going to work that you can deal with it.
Gruff said
Shutting it
something
out
earlier.
because you're going to have 80-year-old Esther that's going to come in there and say, "Good Lordy, it's crazy out there." I mean, you can't just ignore her, you know.
Yeah.
Just be brief, Yeah, but yeah, it is. It's getting nutty out there. But you know what? We're going to pull through this. We're going to come out and we're going to be even better.
Gruff from the
Positive.
Vaping Misfits said quote something earlier in response to something I said. The first thing you do is when you tell someone not to say something or worry about it or focus on it, that's all they can do.
That's
They're
true.
going
One of the
to.
worst
They're
things
going
you can do
to.
is tell them not to.
It's just
avoid.
it's just mentally draining. Like it's
It
just like,
is.
whoa.
But the thing is, you've got to stop talking about it, and even at the point, don't talk about the coronavirus. Don't even do that. Hey, how you doing? What you need today? What can I help you with? And like you said, that you have the 2 customer limit in the store. When you get done with that first one, walk them out to the door, follow them out there, and say, "All right," And when you open the door for them, you tell the people that may be standing outside, they'll say, "Okay, I got one more. Just hold here," and just be like nice and say, "Hey,
Of
we're
course.
doing what we can to get you in and
Positivity.
out as quickly as we can. This is kind of the guidelines we're following. So just be patient with us, and we'll get you in and out as quick as we can because we all know that you got to have your vape. And
And
just
if you
just
have a
be
low
positive.
moment, try to
But
talk positive things about them.
Yeah.
Have a conversation. Try to stay positive. If they want to talk about the virus, ask them how they're doing with it. Try to get them upbeat more. That'll help you too. If you can get someone else to feel better, just like when you try to turn them on the vape, it'll help you as well as it does them.
it's
Look at their
true.
shirts. Look at their shirts. You see one that looks a little loud or something. Oh, I love your blouse, or I love your T-shirt. Oh, cool rock concert T-shirt. That right there is going to introduce a conversation in its
Of
own.
course. Of course.
So
And the other thing is I want to just say something for a second that's bothering me more than anything else going on. A shout out to the people that are getting on Facebook, Twitter, going around having conversations, just putting out to the world these rumors that you've heard, whether it's going to be a martial law or a shutdown or this or that. Stop getting on the internet and posting things that you don't know is really going on because people are going to respond and it's going to explode. So just stop it. Like, just
you know
stop it.
what? You know
Do
what?
you
You know
want
what's
an
even,
update that's real about that? Because there is one I got that is real.
and I bet you're going to say pretty much the same thing I'm going to, pretty
Kuwait,
much along the lines. Go ahead.
Kuwait,
I'll let.
Kuwait is under martial law right now because of it.
Mm-hmm.
They've officially announced it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the thing is, when a person, and Josh and Tim knows this just as well, and you probably even see it now, when somebody says martial law, they're like, "Oh my God, that's bad."
It's like
Well,
wildfire.
it depends. And the thing is that like these National Guard people that come in, hold on just a second. These National Guard people that come in, they're coming in, they're trying to help the medical field as far as with helping with patients, getting them into the tent
Yes.
or through the drive-throughs, whatever. That's what their purpose is for. But when you get people that do not listen, the ones that go to the beach, the ones that post all this nonsense on Facebook, but yet they're out there right in the middle of it, causing the problem. That's why it becomes martial law, because people are not taking it seriously
Mhm.
and not listening. It's not they're trying to imprison you, they're trying to protect not just you, but everybody else. There's a lot of people they're trying to protect in this world right now. And
That's
that's why
right.
Kuwait is under
Yeah.
martial law.
And I'm saying, like, get on Facebook, say, I saw one today. The state of Massachusetts is shutting down tomorrow, or the state of Massachusetts is shutting down Monday. How do you know? You don't know. None of us know until we
And
know.
here's the thing, avoid that argument.
Yep.
Go to
That
your
is negative.
state websites and
I have a
look. It's
theory on
going to
what
be
they can
posted
do.
all over your state links.
That's right.
You have people
So
that are fighting this virus, and once they get over this virus, they become immune to the virus. This is the workforce they need to let out and about because they can't contract it.
Yeah.
Why are those people not back out there? They're the one that happens. They're the first people you should have out is because they can't catch it again. They're done.
Right. Once you have that first round, that's it. You're done.
What were you saying, Josh?
so while we're talking about National Guard,
Okay.
me and Adam touched base on this a little bit ago, like yesterday or so, about why Ohio is so afraid of the National Guard. In 2 months, on May 4th, will be the 50th year anniversary of the Kent State shootings.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
The 4 people that died from our National Guard. So the reason why Ohio's worried about that is because it's happened here in the past.
Yeah.
oh man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there has been states that has claimed martial law. It hasn't been like a nationwide thing, but there has been states during the civil rights movement. Alabama
Mhm.
claimed martial law.
I would not be surprised to see some city ordinances similar to
Yeah.
martial law.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because that's
Exactly.
going to be where it's going to be the worst pandemic.
I got a feeling the first one, it's probably, which there are, the whole state is already under, not under martial law. They're just under, home isolation. I don't want to even call it lockdown. I'm just going to say home isolation, because you say lockdown, everybody thinks, oh, they're in prison to their homes. No, they can still go to the store, get their essentials. If they have to go to the
Mhm.
doctor or whatever, they're still able to do that. People are acting like that your freedoms are being ripped. No, that doesn't happen until martial law is
Plus,
kicked
when
in
you're
federally.
like 2-3 towns away, headed the other direction, that's when they get a little fishy on it. I mean, because you're not just going to the store at that point.
Right. But and that's the whole thing. Is the National Guard is going to these different states to protect us and those who are maybe in the medical field or the law enforcement, whatever, to kind of add, because look at the beaches. Yeah, we've got 400 or 500 deputies, but that doesn't mean that's going to be enough to cover 30 miles of beach front. So they've got to have some help. So that's where the National Guard comes in, and they just basically act like security guards as far as that point. Or if they're going to a hospital, they're helping as far as like a triage nurse, basically.
Yep.
They take your
And in
vitals and stuff like that.
most cases, they're going to just ask for people to leave, and as long as they don't fight it, they're probably
Right.
just going to get to go home, because they're not going to want to put you in a bunch of holding camps where that's actually going to make the virus worse.
Right, exactly. That's why they have all these, these drive-up tents that they're sitting up. So you stay in your car, they do their test, and you go about your business.
They're refusing to test people though, unless they have certain documentation, even if you exhibit symptoms.
Well, Shell, when you don't have a primary doctor, when you have no health record of anything in the last 10, 15, or even some cases 20 plus years, I understand to a point where they're coming from. Yes, I understand they need assistance. I get it, but there is also some people that's freaking out for no reason because they have a little bit of a
Yes.
tickle in their throat
Yep.
because they slept with a fan on the night before.
One of my many nurse customers told me about that. She's like, the other problem is people are just think they get sniffles and then they want to get tested.
Yep.
There is a doctor in New York that's already went through it, already had the coronavirus, and he posted his thing online about the early warning signs and symptoms. That is, if you're really worried about it, that would be a must read right now.
Yeah. And another thing, if you have insurance through whoever, just about all these insurance companies, whether it's Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, doesn't, every one of them has a teledoc. Worst case
Yep.
scenario, pay the
Telehealth.
$10, call up, say, hey, I've got these symptoms. What do you think I should do? They're going to tell you, to either go to your primary. If it's serious, go to the emergency room. But that's the whole thing. People are reporting, I got a sore throat, I've got coronavirus. Well, we
Well,
don't know that for sure.
Telehealth is free for everybody right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no
I was
excuse.
going to
That's
say,
good.
I was going to get there.
No
too.
excuse.
Yeah.
No excuse.
There's many avenues that people can take, and they're not using them, and they think they can just get up and roll up into a doctor's office and be tested. That's
Yeah.
not how it works. We all understand there's a shortage, and even to the point they thought they had enough tests, but come to find out they were incomplete tests. You have to order other components to make it complete. They didn't. This is all new. This was not expected. Just like I was talking to the guys before the live started. You know, all these people that come down here to the beaches, you know, to spend their spring break, they didn't know this was coming. They really didn't.
The ones
They
that
knew it was.
knew it was there and still went, that was
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
a
see,
lot
here's the
of them.
thing, and that's my thing. Our governor knew Monday he needed to do something because St. Patrick's was the next day, knowing it's warmer than normal, which is odd. So, guess who's going to what? The beaches are going to be very populated. And as y'all seen from aerial views around the world,
Mm-hmm.
everybody focused on Florida beaches, how packed they were, you know. Well, now, guess what? Our beaches are, other than the people that live on the beaches, they're ghost towns, you know. So,
Unfortunately, that
that's,
has to happen right now.
yeah,
It's
I
slow.
wish it would have happened, you know, Monday instead of today.
Yeah, because all
Uh,
these people are exposed potentially.
Now, I think Clearwater, I think they're shut theirs down the other day, Wednesday,
And,
maybe Thursday. But,
and they're
you
all
know,
going home.
well, you know, I mean, we can't keep them here, Shell.
I know some are coming back up here, so I'm like, well, no, I don't want them. Their parents don't want them.
But
The
see, that's
schools
the
don't want
problem.
them.
People are sitting there pointing the fingers. You can't point the fingers. It's nobody's fucking fault. You can't hold them down. We can't hold them down here and keep them prisoner like y'all want us to. You know, I mean, it is what it is. This is the free country. They
That's
have the
not going
freedom
to
to go
help
back to
things
where they
either.
live.
Holding
You
those
know,
people in a condensed area is just as bad, if not worse.
hmm
You're potentially condemning them to get the virus and possibly die. You can't do that.
you know. I don't know what our death rate is at. Let me look real quick. Florida.
I know we have over 500 cases now and two. How many deaths too?
Uh,
We're at
okay.
3 now.
Mass is getting up there, man.
I think we've got y'all beat still.
Yeah.
I'm trying to open it up now. I think we're pushing 700.
What, Kevin?
Florida's full of a lot of retirement people too,
Really?
retirees,
Jeez.
and that makes Florida a really bad spot for this epidemic to come out.
It
Right
is.
now,
She's annoying right now.
we have 652. 55 of those are non-Florida residents, and 1,072 cases that are being watched right now, basically waiting for results on test. So,
Can you tell me what Mass says?
you guys are like at 540.
And while people are being quarantined, there are some areas. I mean, in general, you should be
Oh, I'm
self
sorry.
quarantined.
I'm sorry, Shell. We got 7 here. Let's just do this. Let me do Florida first, real quick.
All right,
I'm
yeah,
sure
let's
this
just
can-
do all our states.
Yeah.
We'll cover our
there's nothing
states.
up
And
there.
Georgia too, please.
Since I'm on Florida, all right. Total cases
Wow.
positive 706, 12 deaths, 1,080 being monitored. Okay. I wonder if this will.
Wow.
Let's go to counties. Of course, your southern counties are, the county I live in, which is right here, Scambia, 1 case. Santa Rosa, that's the next county over. Let's take a quick peek at that. 3 cases. Okaloosa, which is on the other side, 12 cases in Okaloosa. So that's. Remember when I said when it got closer to home, I would start worrying. And the thing is, I also have to watch Alabama above me and to my west. So, because I'm right here on the western border of Northwest Florida. All right, let's go to. I can't spell. There we go.
What are you trying to do?
There we go. Okay, you guys are up to 525 in mass. Okay, as far as state health officials announced 112 new cases. So you guys are about 2 days behind us, because we were at 525 Thursday.
You see, most of these cases are going to pop up hardest wherever there's a major airport.
Right.
See, I don't have a lot of major airports anywhere near me. Closest
Well,
one
they suspect there's more though.
or Logan.
Your capacity is 1144, but you had, as of yesterday, there's nothing as far as today, but as of Friday, 962 have been tested. We were like what at 1100, so not far off.
Go to the
Okay.
airport.
Can you check Georgia for me? That's where my kids
Sure
are.
thing. Let me go here. I'm gonna just click back. I'm just gonna leave the screen on. That way it's just.
Pretty close to us. I think.
Yeah, not far off. A little, just a couple more. As of 56 minutes ago, 555. It looks like 20 deaths in
Whoa.
Georgia. So that's 8 more than us. How many are being? Is there anything that says how many are being tested in total?
Paulding or Cobb is what I'm concerned with.
Let me see. I don't know if
I
this
know
will go
there's
into
some
a
limit.
county by county. Let's do it this way. There's Cobb. There's nothing as far as
It doesn't break it down like the Florida one.
yeah, it's not breaking it down like Florida does. It just kind of when you click on it, it just basically goes right back to the page I was just on. So, all right, so let's do Ohio, where Josh is at.
Coronavirus.ohio.gov.
3 people.
Yeah, I know it's 3 people have been confirmed.
No, 3 dead.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. The third death just happened.
Yep, third. There's your 3 people. 247 cases.
But again, you're not in a major hub spot as much as like Florida.
Which
Or
is
even
surprising.
Or Mass.
Which is surprising because he's really not that far from Cleveland. It's not really that far from Chicago, if you think about it. Not really.
Think about it, though.
No.
The weather. I mean, weather dependent. I mean, it might make a difference too.
No, it's in the hot states and the cold
No,
states.
it's how long the virus can survive in different temperatures.
Right.
They're still working on actually putting out exactly what
Tim, you're in
Vermont, New Hampshire area.
Vermont. We'll do Vermont first because I know you're right there at the line. So, 16. Yeah, let's see, Vermont.
Whoa.
Where are we at?
It's a small state.
Yeah, we only had 19 cases.
Okay, well you're up to 20. Let's see what the total is. That's what I'm. Is that the total? 20?
Total, yeah. So we're really in a hot spot.
Where are you going?
Y'all did have a death.
29.
Yep. Yeah, we had a positive one in Claremont, New Hampshire. I know that. That was a few days ago.
It's just closing
Well, but that in reality, that's
The more rural you are, the less you're going to have.
that's actually a good number, though. I
You
mean,
know,
20.
I want look at New York.
I know there's a lot going on in New York. We're not going to really.
It's a hub.
It's an epicenter.
It's also an international hub where before they knew how bad it was, they were letting.
I'm gonna cover it a little bit.
Actually.
Well, this is my show. Okay. Total to 65 in New Hampshire. So again, that's 3 times higher than Vermont, but still
fairly low.
It's fairly low. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So.
But the important thing is, while everybody's on lockdown, is reach out to people. If you feel like you're getting anxiety or depression kicking in, don't be afraid to reach out to the community. Especially if you're watching this show, you're probably part of the vape community, most likely, or have someone in it. Don't be afraid to reach out. We're here for each other.
Right, exactly. Give me just a second. I'm taking care of something right now.
Yeah, just had a fight. You saw that, right? So I said, I told him talking about this because it's my show. It's be interesting. Sands on?
Okay, let me pop this up real quick. Well, Mr. Daryl Hobson is doing some lives tonight. I think he's trying to keeps some entertainment going. He's a basically a comedian, real funny guy. But yeah, he's doing a lot of live feeds and stuff. Just keep
I've
people's
seen a lot
spirits
of
up and
people
stuff.
go live a lot more. Like right now, Stan's live. Tenacious TX is live right now.
All right.
So,
Speaking of Tenacious D and all the sorts, I actually watched Jay and Silent Bob's reboot.
Oh, did you? How did you like
It was
it?
pretty good. It was pretty good. I was surprised. I was shocked seeing Jay and well, actually everybody. Mike, or not.
Bob's so much different.
Kevin Smith is he's other than the fact he's skinnier, still the same. He's like still doing the old famous, Silent Bob eye roll. He still does that like crazy. Most everybody that was from like Jay and Silent Bob's first movie, Clerks, Chasing Amy, all those were actually in the movie. Ben Affleck was there. It was great. They even did the they kind of did the
Nice.
song again. So, what's his name? Jason.
Jason, what is Jason's last name?
Jason Lee.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it?
But it's funny because I mean everybody's like they're like old. They're
Yeah.
old,
They're
wrinkly.
old.
It's just weird. It's like
I
wait
know
a
it's gonna be
minute.
the same way with that Bill and Ted's reboot.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. Especially with Ted. No, Bill. Bill.
Yep.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves actually did age well. You have to admit, he did.
But it was great, I'm gonna point something out real quick. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this and don't want to talk about the coronavirus and all that. And we're just touching bases. And if it bothers you, find something else to watch. Simple as that. We're just covering a few things, going over a few things. We're moving on. So, if it comes back up, 30 minutes later, it comes back up. This is what's going on in the world. I can't ignore that. So we're going to take care of what's going on here. We may talk about a movie. Hell, we may even talk about the new games that's come out and stuff, because I know Jess is playing one right now that just came out yesterday.
Mhm.
So,
Is it good?
the conversation's going to go whichever direction it may go. So,
Man,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it bothers people, but if it bothers you, there's plenty of other channels to go watch.
I do have
Sorry.
a quick update on games. So
What's that?
we moved in almost 3 years ago, or about over 3 years ago.
Mm-mm.
About 3 years ago. And my daughter helped me move. And she's carrying stuff in. We were trying to hurry up and get here in a hurry. So my gaming stuff, I got all my consoles, but couldn't find any of my controllers or my chargers. While cleaning out the new studio upstairs, guess what I found?
all
McDonald's
your
cheeseburger.
stuff.
4 Xbox controllers and
Wow.
4 Wii controllers and the chargers
Nice.
for them all. So
Very
that's
cool.
one.
I had to throw the damn cheeseburger in there. Come on now. 20-year-old
You did.
burger.
20-year-old burger.
Well, yeah, I did find one of them, Adam, and I'm gonna send it to you so you can taste test it. See what a 20-year-old cheeseburger tastes like.
Yes. Hi. Oh shit! Run! Run! Run, Nancy! Run!
I wasn't gonna get her.
No, she got stung by wasps.
Well, I'd be in trouble because I'm allergic. Adam's got something going on here. He's looking something up.
Oh, yeah, I am. We pop back to the video. There we go. Yeah, I've kind of worked it out where I make my Zoom screen like the exact same size as the live screen, and I just put it over it. That way I can read the comments and stuff. So it kind of helps Shell out a little bit. That way she's not having to do it all the time. So, but yeah, anything to help anybody out, especially in this time of day.
Yes.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Yes.
As I'm trying to look around the corner to see if I can see Jess sitting over there to the far left of you.
Well, Just do that. There
Hi,
she
there
is.
she is. Hi. Are you having fun?
I did try to tell him not to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, she's having fun.
Cool. I actually haven't messed with the PS4 too much. I've actually been on Crossout on the computer.
I haven't been on about 2 days, so
Right. Well, my buddy, my bro, Valak, um, he doesn't have a console, so everything he does is on PC. Um, and about the only game he can play where it doesn't bog down very much is Crossout, which still is a pretty heavy game, but um, just trying to get on there and check out. Of course, he's building a rat rod. I'm like, that's a cool thing to be doing right now. Just kind of completely get your mind away, So, it's like, well, awesome, buddy.
all right.
It's a 49 Plymouth, I think it is.
Nice.
Okay.
And they chopped the top like 4 inches. So they got all that taken care of. It's going to be a nice little project by the time he gets done with it. So he keeps sending me pictures of like old 53 COEs, stuff like that. So
Daisy's over here
I have a
snoring.
vape-related question.
Yes,
Has anybody heard of any place that is still pushing their bans?
here they're not.
I mean, there's
And
still this call to actions out there to contact people, and that's good. I mean, this is a time to do it when a lot of people are out of work. But is there anybody that's actually pushing and having active hearings right now?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm
Anybody
aware of.
hears about it, even in the replay or something, someone watching it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely
Posting
keep
the
your
comments,
eyes
'cause
keep
it
your
would
eyes on
be-
the vape stuff. Just because all this going on, make sure you still
They can
keep an
push
eye on.
something through real easily with all
Hey,
this
I was
going on.
just going to say that.
Notice.
This is a perfect time for them to push their little thing through if they want to ban. This is
That's
people.
why I keep on posting every few days. And take a look at your local state and see what's going on. Make sure in the surrounding states, preferably around you. If you people
Right.
do that, even if don't do every state, but if you do your state and a state near you, you're more likely to catch something. And maybe you can point it out to the people that are actually in that state.
Right.
And then you don't get overwhelmed.
Give me just a second.
Yep, you're all good. That's Animal Crossing. I'm okay with that. Ah, Jesus.
Why?
You pop this back on.
What? Me? What's
Mhm.
going on there, Adam?
Uh-uh.
Because that's not your usual tank either.
This one?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, y'all know I rock this one and everything.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I've actually been using this a little bit more than normal. About half. I'm kind of half and half with them. So, but that's only because I got some new juice. So.
No, I was just curious. What is that? What RDA is that?
That is the CCI Strife.
I have not used that.
It's just a standard. Pretty sure it's.
And then, that's how they get online.
I'm enjoying
We
the
don't
unicorn RDA.
Well, go get the ditto code.
Just
Got
it's
really good
standard.
flavor.
Standard deck, nothing major. I've been using CCI for a good while. They got pretty good products. Nothing extravagant. With me anymore, we was talking about this, I think, last week or week before. You can only do so many things with an RDA or RTA, so then you have to get to the point where you have to get kind of, you start looking at the aesthetics of it, what you can
Close
do
the gate.
Well, that's the thing about RDA and RTA. Someone brought up something in one of the shows, I don't remember the other day, about when you get on your setups, everybody uses the same coils and all their setups. They find one they like in something. When you're changing your RDA, if you want to change it up some flavor, sometimes changing your coil can make
Yeah, change your
world of
wire
difference.
type.
It was on the green room last night.
The
Well,
wire
that's
type will
one-
change it. The type of wire that you build, that
Exactly.
you put on there, whether it be just a fused Clapton or an Alien or staple frame, those all
Or
make
the material
very
it's
big
made out of,
variation.
if you're not sensitive to a material, can change it flavor phenomenally.
Right. So like me, I prefer nichrome 80. That's
I do too. But
that's
some
what I
people have
prefer.
allergies to it and they can't.
Yeah, so they have to go down to either stainless or Kanthal. And me, I don't like Kanthal because it's just but it's
I
stainless.
believe
Just
there was some specialty wires too. Wasn't there like a silver wire or something? There was some kind of specialty
yeah.
wire that should be out there.
But it's like that's kind of new, so I'm kind of like kind of
And
sketchy.
expensive, pricey.
Good Chrono. No, that's Neil. That's Patrick.
I mean, hold
Saw
on. I
some
need-
nice coils being made
something real
yesterday and last night in Zoom. I'll be honest.
That's Shell.
I don't know if she has any.
She's gonna be getting it.
I'll put it on my thing. I'll put you through.
There's a few people that do have colds right now, as far as I know.
I don't like have them.
Out there in the vape
I don't
community.
have those other people. I don't fit in that.
Who,
Okay.
So
Thomas?
you're still waiting on Tiffany, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Thomas Crow actually turned out he does not have corona. He just has a cold, the regular flu, so he's doing okay.
Good, good.
That was one of them. I know Logan actually is sick, but I think it's just a regular cold. But we got to worry about it in this time. We want to make sure these people are okay. We watch them and listen
one.
on a constant basis.
You type in my code.
Is this the SW or do I just do the number?
You just did a number.
5,
Um,
5, 4, 2.
how are the gas prices? Pretty good right now, considering.
Like $1.80 right now, like dollar like
Wow, not bad.
thing I
I
got
know
yesterday,
that-
like $1.89.
Did y'all see some of the posts about this is where people run away with stories is there was actually a gas station in London, Kentucky that was like 89 cents a gallon. But the
Wow,
only
I've
reason
seen that
why
since, like,
the actual
80.
reason they were doing that, they were trying to empty their tanks because they're wanting to get them replaced because they have a deadline, because they have an older style tank system. So that's why they're trying to get the fuel out. So everybody's like, hey, London, Kentucky's got the cheapest fuel in America. And of course, everybody started posting it. And it's like, really, it's just one story. So,
Well, hey, I'm pretty sure they didn't have any issues dumping their tanks.
but their average is like yours. It's like $1.82, which is still, I mean, that's kind of around the same
when
as
I
we are.
On Thursday, it was $2.24 a gallon was the cheapest. But
But
Vermont
it's-
and New Hampshire area is a little bit more expensive anyway.
Yeah, because it's a little bit harder to get up there, get it transported up there. So, and that's
Traveling
where our
down
fuel-
south is cheaper. I'm good.
that's what
Get as many as you
fluctuates our
can.
big
It's gonna
our
make it
prices
damn
more
fun.
than anything is the transportation of it, or lack of, especially when we're lack of because of hurricanes or whatever, it goes like crazy. Ours is like 193,
That's nice.
but it was 246 before all this started. So I mean, it's just, and normally
I'll
this time of year is when our gas goes up anyway because of the tourism. So
mute it when you're coming back through.
can't complain too much. As far as gas prices, I hate we're getting the cheaper prices. I hate the reason behind it, but
Less people travel. I mean, they have to try and entice people to get more gas, even though really.
well, and then there's even people you don't really have to have gas to get from your living room to the bedroom when they go to work. So there's a lot less being used. Yeah, there's a lot of people
and
at
there's
home.
been people being laid off and
Yeah.
such, and that's a thing.
I am thankful that I'm still working.
And not all. I mean, they just use the corona situation as an excuse to
Yeah.
lay some people off.
Yeah, exactly. What the outcome will be in the end as far as all the stimulus packets they're putting together for us or for the employee, the different businesses and stuff. I mean, that's all still future stuff. We don't know anything is concrete yet. They are working on something. We just don't know the details.
When you go out shopping, Be nice to the people that are, giving you your service. You gotta remember, these people are on the front lines, and it's a lot of times, people are frustrated and they don't get what they need or want.
Right.
And they're getting angry at the people behind the counter, and that's not their fault.
And two, I mean, to a point, don't get angry at the person that has 10 packs of toilet paper or 20 bottles of sanitizer in their buggy. Just like the other day, a story was brought up, and that's the typical thing. People see this and they panic and start jumping on them. Well, in this instance, this was a guy from a church that was buying all this to give to people. So he was taking his money. I understand they get taxes in, but still, the fact that this church was buying from their funding to buy all these supplies to give free to people, that's
Probably not.
that's saying a lot, and you kind of
Yeah,
have to be careful
Jen's there.
because that just might be the reason. Is there hoarders out there? Of course, but it's like
There's also people buying for groups, or maybe they have like a shelter or a building or something like that where they need that much. What if they run a business and they want to have that available for the people that come in so they don't wind up getting sick?
I mean, it's understandable. It's human nature to assume that, but you kind of have to put things in perspective. Well, maybe he is hoarding, or maybe he's not. Maybe he's doing like what we've been talking about.
You can't judge by the way they look.
Exactly.
You'd be surprised some of the people that are most generous, or sometimes the most unkept people you've ever met can be the most generous.
I mean, if you want to be a total jerk and be like, approach him nicely. Hey, are you, supplying a church or a shelter or something like that? I would like to donate a couple of other things. If you want to be a jerk about it and then find out that they're not and they're just hoarding, then you can go at them however you want to. But, the thing is, it's kind of a, it's like the whole thing. It sucks. Point blank, it sucks. So.
And honestly, hand sanitizer is good, but if you're staying at home, soap and water is just fine. I mean, just wash off.
I got this, but I got it for work because I do a lot of paper transactions.
Yeah, exactly. Like
so
I was actually using when
I do a lot of cash transactions.
Even using my credit card, after touching the machine.
Yep.
Hands and card wiped.
And that's the thing. That's why I have it right here. This is like my wallet. It goes everywhere I go now. When I went to the store, I took it with me. When I got done shopping, because I touched it, the food was touched by other people by, where they were stocking it and stuff. And then I touched it and, so just taking that extra precaution.
She's had daddy for 2 days.
But
my shoulder and curled in.
let me look on something. Let me go see if I can find stuff on.
Cassie had a cold for a couple days and getting over it. Just a head cold, like allergy. The rabbit's been kind of nonstop, and so she's acting out.
This is the first time I've seen her since Wednesday.
Yep. The more the merrier. That's fine.
Most of CASA that I'm seeing is
she's more susceptible to the common cold when she has this virus.
Not many new posts.
They have a few posts coming out, but I think it's old news. The biggest thing is Florida.
Mississippi, and Washington.
Florida comes down to one person signing. So that is actually, if you can, reach out to the mayor of Florida.
Right. I mean, there's little things going on. There's nothing, like you were saying, they're just kind of still kind of putting Florida up there. You see a couple of city things going on, but I
like situations like Florida. You do. I mean, if you got it time, try to contact him, because that's something that all it takes is one signature and it's done.
Yep. And that's the whole thing. Am I going to base it that he is solely just doing this, the coronavirus only? No. It don't take but 5 minutes to sign a bill. and it don't take 5 minutes to put it into authority. So it's
And
like,
Juul's situation with the way they were on that,
yeah,
I mean, getting people to vote for it because it's a flavor ban and it helps them and corner the market.
Yep.
That's shady practice.
and that's the whole thing. And that, that's what really screwed us over was Juul stepping into the state of Florida and saying, hey, go ahead and cancel them flavor bans out. I mean, people have got to understand that this is a win-win for them no matter what we do. We can fight it all we want. They're going to do what they want to do. They're going to put into place what they feel needs to be put in place. And like I said, you look at the states that have won the flavor bans, they get very, very, very little MSA money. Very little.
No, just wait for people to come. That's it.
I mean, if it's worth trying. But once that's past that point, I mean, it's just you can see it. I mean, I would never say just give up. I just won't ever do that. I'm not that type of person. But it does sway that way. It's just like the Democrat versus Republican debate. It does definitely seem very, very heavily Democrats are against vaping, very heavily, but you still got to try. I mean, if you got to fight until there's no more fight left, and even then, I'll still fight.
That's it. There's so many things. It's got their attention right now. I honestly don't see them doing things. They can, but I would definitely deem it as all this going on is supersedes what's going on with vaping right now. I understand that, and like you said,
but you
like
can't
I said,
forget about
this
vaping.
is a
Don't let
prime
it go by
time.
the wayside because they will take advantage of that.
Well,
it's tough.
It's
a balancing act, but you're first and foremost your personal health and your mental health.
right, but I've got to look at it this too. To begin with, most vapors don't care. They could give two shits about vaping, really, because you look at the numbers. So when you have a group of, I'm going to be generous, I'm going to say 50,000 people that's fighting for vaping out of 13 million.
I agree, but you got to remember the vaping community is made from people that were smokers. They're used to being like.
I understand that.
Fighting.
I completely understand that. But the thing is, there's not enough.
That are shy, kind of withdrawn. Our best chance is when they're anonymous. When they're anonymously being able to go to the voting booth is where they should shine. Beyond that, you're not going to see a lot of stuff because it's just the nature of our community. We're not confrontational. We aren't all. Most of us are not fighters.
Right, they're not, and that's what's going to hurt us in the end. We can't play we cannot play the I feel sorry for myself card because I didn't do nothing. People have got to step up, otherwise we're not going to be heard, and these states are going to do as they feel please. When they have all of these, and then they have 200 people stand up and say something out of 800 and something thousand people in this state that vape. What do you think's going to happen? People don't care. They obviously they don't care. They're not
hearings I went to. There are six hearings in 8 weeks. One hearing was packed to the gills. One. That was.
And the ones you went to before, what, 2 or 3?
Me and one other person.
Yep.
And the one I went to before was me and 1 or 2 other people. And that's just the way it was going. And I'll be honest, I was getting downtrodden. Yeah. And then the last time we had because part of it was because a little bit of it was because they added all flavors, including tobacco. So we had tobacco supporters. But shops and stuff showed up once it got to finance committee, once they changed it over.
Right.
But that's just it. I mean, but really look at the vape community. We're full of peaceful, generally law-abiding people in a lot of instances, or people who just want to relax and be kind of off the sidelines. They don't want to be there. And that's actually a very good thing for our community, and it makes our community work. But it does make it so that people will try and take advantage of that and it's
Right.
going to take a long time for things to switch around because of that.
It
The
would have
voting
been
booth is
great.
when we're gonna see people most likely stand up because they don't have to do it in front of somebody.
Now,
The
if it
paper
was,
vote is a real thing.
the thing is, we don't have that option to vote as far as,
State
hey,
level.
this is what we're going to be doing with the vaping. You know, we're going if they'd put it where it was going to be put to a vote for each state, oh hell yeah, people would step up. That's the whole thing, and yeah, state would lose
That's
left and
where I
right.
feel democracy has actually failed us because
Mhm.
that isn't happening.
Mhm.
Important issues such as this, where it's a personal lifestyle choice more than anything else,
Yep.
it should, and liberty, it should not be openly to the just people that want to stand up and be heard, or someone who's trying to make a name for themselves in the government. It should be
Mhm.
left up to the voters. It
Yeah.
should have been voted on
That's it. You know, you've got, you know, Tom, Dick, and
without
Harry that stands up
propaganda.
as a governor and says, you know, well, this is killing my state because of all these people dying, not like, you know, not having a clue what's really going on because it was all THC related and not Nick
Or
related. And
ignoring
it's
the
like,
facts that they did know and they didn't want to tell you. CDC and FDA dragging their feet on purpose because they knew what it was. They half-ass admitted it many times that they knew it was THC, but they never openly said it until recently when they were forced to, and they still conflate it and make it sound like it still was every now and then.
mm-hmm.
You look up in YouTube, in Google right now, current vape news, it will still show EVALI as the very first thing on the list. I mean,
Yep.
that should not be true.
Yeah,
That should not be the headline right now.
and that's even after the CDC debunked.
Yeah, and it talks
that
about
was the
them
case
looking
on the
into it.
Nick.
It doesn't tell you it's retracted, nothing. There's no news on there. It says
No.
anything about a retraction. Just tells you the news from when it was out that they were investigating.
Well, look at that Irvine, California hearing. That is a prime example how people in our legislation think. And it's
Mhm.
because they're not seeing what's really going on. They're being fed.
No, you don't have to wait.
What-
They need to just come in.
That's what I asked you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Where was I
Sorry,
going?
Adam.
I forgot where I was going.
He stopped his check.
They were completely blind, and they were even using demographics from fucking 2017 and 2016. And
Kidding me? Some
until
of them are still using stuff in 2012, 2013 in some areas.
yeah, and it, was it Chris Webber that stepped up and you know he's got all this money. He's like,
What
this
year
right
was
here.
the diacetyl scare?
This was he was like Chris Webber was like, here's $5,300 that I'm getting ready to pay you guys in taxes.
Yep.
And he said it on the podium. You know, he's like, the stuff that this attorney over here is showing is old stuff. I would be glad to, you know, give you detailed information today. That way you can make an honest and good judgment as compared to using stuff that was tossed into the media 4 or 5 years ago, you know? And look what Irvine did. Irvine. I keep thinking of Dallas, Irvington. But Irvine, they ended up keeping the flavors. You know, they did some regulation. You know, they're going to have somebody that goes around to the shops as far as inspections. And we've all said we're cool with inspections. We're good with that. Come into our shops. We welcome you. You know, but you get the people that you know are blinded like that. That's what they're going to go with. They don't know nothing, so they're going to go with what they think is safe.
You look at how clean the clean rooms are for making e-juice, e-liquid. And
They're
then
cleaner than some.
go and look at some of the places that makes your food.
Those
And you
those
tell me which one's cleaner and more sanitary.
those rooms are actually more cleaner than some of the operation rooms.
They're cleaner than many laboratories.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, you know.
We don't know what's in it. You've had a list of everything in every one of them for years. You have documentation since the last time you tried coming after it.
Yeah, that's it. You know, I mean,
you know exactly what's in this e-liquid. You know it's not dangerous. You know it's not a carcinogen. You know it saves lives. There's no excuse that makes any sense other than they're going after the money.
Right, exactly. And I just noticed something, guys.
Hmm.
I didn't fix my name. I didn't fix my name.
Oh.
Imagine that. It's all good.
What was your name?
Well, the reason why I do that is when we're all have our cameras off and when the video first starts, it's got Cloud Chronicles in black and white that pops up. So I noticed first couple times, because I don't have all the fancy OBS or none of that set up. So, it is what it is. I just forgot to change it back. So, but I mean, it's definitely keep your eye on the vape because now is a prime time for them to slip it right in there without us knowing.
Can I give that plug for the Misfits right now?
Yes.
Sure, do it, dude. Do it.
Next Saturday, right?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday, the Vaping Misfits, tune into their channel. They're doing a charity for mental health awareness. Right now, during this time with everything going on and all the anxiety and depression going on, there's nothing. I think it's a very needed group to be
for sure.
starting to up and coming right now.
All right. If
And,
you,
I mean,
what time?
And they're also going to be auctioning off a lot of cool stuff. The Bearded Viking. I mean, there's just a limitless stuff.
Right. Do you have a time for this?
The True Vapor.
It's the channel's called the True Vapor.
Okay.
And
4 p.m. to 4 a.m.
say it
Eastern.
Mike.
4 p.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern time, Saturday night.
Okay. All right.
So that,
Tim, if you want to, put a post in the Cloud Chronicles group. Also, if you don't mind, Shell's group, Aspie Avenue, if you want to put one there because,
I just wanted to talk to you guys tonight first before I did that, but
Right.
I
Right.
already have it on my my Twitter. I've already tweeted it out. I'm going to do that every few days until the event. Because what they're doing is, right now, I think it's one of the most important things we could be doing with this pandemic going on.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I can't think of a more helpful group to start off with.
Yeah, and actually, it's in more ways than one, Tim, if you think about it.
Even
Not only on the mental health.
For vapors. They don't care if you vape. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying it's more.
Is you're doing okay. Two of the
why
guys have Tourette's, so they will shout things out. So expect some strangeness. Please don't get offended by that. Nope. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's what I was actually trying to say was it's actually more than just one thing. Not only is it on the mental health side for those that looking to buy something that they may have, like you were talking about the Addy stands, the skull types and stuff like that, the nice stuff, you've got that's going to that, and they're doing as far as these with what they're going to be doing with this, are these going
They're
to any type
donating
of
money to charities.
Okay, awesome. All right, cool.
Yeah, they each have a charity.
That'd be a
They
very
each
good
have
thing.
a charity. They're all really good charities, by the way.
Good deal. That's really awesome.
But these guys, they're the real deal. And honestly, two of them have mental illness. And the other one kind of helps them out and is a friend of theirs.
Right.
He might act like he's being a jerk to them, but a lot of times it's to try and get the tics and stuff to come out so that they don't build up because it builds in them with the Tourette's. And you will hear some strange things.
Right.
But
right.
They want you
But for the most part, the basis.
enjoy what's going on. They don't want you to get, worried about how they're acting. Go ahead and laugh with them. Just let it out. I mean, don't focus on them like, oh my God, I'm sorry about this. Don't worry about it. That's not the point.
Take it as take it in stride, basically.
Exactly. And they're going to be doing some pretty strange food eating contests, like the
nice.
ancient egg eating,
Century
eggs. They got some. They're going to be eating these ramen with, like they're hot ramen already, but they also have this special ghost chili powder, and then there's
the fermented
there's
herring.
some fermented herring, and they're going to be doing some challenges, so to speak, throughout the live stream that I think they might regret later. But if you're into that kind of thing, that'll be something to watch too.
They're also doing a jelly bean challenge, and they threw the box away, so they have no idea what the flavors are. So it's like Russian roulette with flavored jelly bean.
According to what they said, those jelly beans, because they switched them up into baggies and split them amongst the three of them, they smell bad. They smell gross. But they might have a good flavor, bad one. It's one of those type of jelly beans.
Right.
But they're liable to throw up on the show, so be warned. They'll probably
they may get that dirty foot or that vomit.
Yeah.
It's like.
Well, I'm thinking that fermented herring sounds pretty.
Yes.
He opened up a container today, and he was cutting the container. He could smell it through the can. It's like, oh.
It was
Wow.
Can,
It
sealed
was
in
in a can, sealed in a bag, sealed in a bag, sealed in bubble wrap, sealed inside tape.
And you could smell it.
And you could smell it.
all.
Every layer got stronger, and you started like almost gagging.
Oh,
He just goes, I
man.
gotta eat this.
And they're gonna have some special guests. Grim
Yep,
Green is
Grim
gonna
Green will be on
it.
there. Angela Garrity's gonna be on there. Ruby Roo's gonna be on there. Michelle Lynn's gonna be on there. I believe James is gonna be on
I
there.
believe Frames Janklin and Tenacious TX are both gonna be on there.
Yep.
Very cool.
So there's gonna be a lot of special guests.
He's still not confirmed with Jess Marie and Danielle,
Yeah.
but they're in talks.
So it'll be
Okay.
it's gonna be a good show, and it's for a good cause.
Very cool. Very cool. We might have to cut the show a little early next Saturday there, Josh, and go check out, see what's up.
I will
We might
try to
have
be
to.
here, but I will try also to be there. So I don't know how that's gonna work.
That's fine. That's fine. Not a problem. Our thing is just, try to keep everybody updated on things as they happen, whether it be vaping or the virus or whatever, and I understand, it is a touchy subject with some people, but I have to look at it like this. If I can put out one thing that will help another person, I have achieved something positive,
Mm-hmm.
and whether that be, again, vaping or the virus, anything that we can do to put things out for the people, and that's the way I look at it. I'm not going to avoid a topic because it hurts somebody's, feelings or whatever, or that they're tired of hearing about it because they've been sitting in Facebook all week long and letting this work on them, or watching all these lives. I understand we've got to keep up what's going on, but I can't sit there. I would be insane just watching my governor talk every second he spoke, or listening to the president every second he spoke. I keep track daily what's going on, but I can't make my life just that,
I kind of have.
I mean, it has for a lot of people. It really has, honestly.
Well, for me though, I'm one of those people like to try and protect the people I care about, and for me, vape fam is real.
Yep.
I will do my best to protect everyone I can in the vape
Exactly.
community. Whether it be they need someone to talk to because they're getting depressed right now or whatever with everything going on, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, if you try to contact me, I can't guarantee I'll always be available, but 24 hours a day,
That's
I don't
like
care
in
what
group
time it is.
chat.
If you're in a bad spot, I'd rather you try to contact me.
And the thing is, Tim, if I don't see you all day, and then you'll come maybe late morning or something like that, or maybe into the afternoon. Hey guys, what's up? And at that point, I'm like, okay, Tim's all right. He's been busy, but he's all right.
I know. Sorry about that. I've been
That's
staying
all
up
right.
pretty late and in the Zooms and stuff like that.
Right.
Right.
That's like with Josh and Shell. Man, they have
I've been
been
trying to get my
busy.
motivation level high to get my channel up and going.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out a focus. I had a focus already, and I was getting ready for, vape advocacy videos, and then this came along and I changed. And now I'm trying to decide what dynamic I want to go with, and that's a difficult choice because I want to help as many people as I can. And that's the whole purpose of my channel.
Well, that's why I have this channel here, and that's for us to come together where we can discuss, whether it be vaping, whatever the case may be. Even if there's nothing going on, even if vaping comes out in the end okay, we survived the virus. 2 years from now, and say this channel still going on. We're still going to come here and hell, even if we just BS with each other and talk about, I got something new today or whatever.
It's like an advocate for liberty was for a purpose. I don't want to stop with just vape. If vape's done and somehow we save it and everything's good, or not saved and I'm still fighting for it.
Yep.
There's other liberties that I don't want to save, even if it's not something I like. It could be something I absolutely hate, but if it's important to a group of people, and I'm not talking like one person in a billion, but if it's actually important to the community, then it should be fought for. You should not be up to the government to choose for us.
If the government decides they want to take away denture gum, I'm not cool with that. I will stand up and fight for it, even though I don't use it.
Say it, but if it came down to at this point, if the government did manage a way to try and take away cigarettes, I still wouldn't be okay with it because it's still a personal choice.
Exactly.
I might not like it. I might not want it, but I would still fight for it because it's still a choice. It
And
should
you
not
look
be the
at,
government's.
and there actually is some smokers that do stand up for vaping for
Yep.
that exact reason. It's their choice. It's their liberty to do that. You know, the group I forgot the name of the group, but it's basically a smoking advocacy group. Basically, you know, you would kind of think that seems kind of odd, but you know what? That's their liberty. If that's how they choose to deal with stress and stuff like that by smoking, then so be it. You know.
The government's not your nanny. That's it. It's not your nanny for your kids. It's not your nanny for you. It's not supposed to be. You're an adult. Make adult choices. If you don't like it, find someone to make the choices for you. But don't expect your government to do it for you, or force someone else to do what you
Yeah,
want.
they're basically there just to kind of put guidelines out. That
Yeah,
really, that's all their job is. Their
And
job
that's
is not to dictate.
and maybe to stop from things from crossing over to the point where you're endangering others. If you're
Exactly.
endangering just yourself, hey, that's your choice.
Yeah, that's it. That kind of falls back on what we were talking about earlier with the whole martial law thing. It's kind of, you know, it's not doing it because they want to. It's they have no choice. They're at a point because there's so many people not doing as they're being told, and it's not like it's a prison sentence. Stay home.
No, in most cases, they'll just ask you to go home.
Yeah, that's the whole
I
thing.
mean, because they're not going to want to try and put a bunch of people together right now in a
Right.
small area.
I mean, a little slap on the wrist. Hey, you need to be home. You know, get
might
what you
get a
need to
fine or
get at the
something.
grocery store or whatever. Go home. You know, nightclubs and stuff. Of course, I'm pretty sure across the U.S. or probably across the globe, they're shut down. You know, so if you pull up in a nightclub and you're sitting there waiting for it to open, cop pulls up. Well, yeah, it gives him every right to ask him why in the hell you're there. You know, you tell them you're waiting to open it up. Well, go home and wait. It'll be open here in a few months. You know? I'm sure they'll put commercials out and let you know that they're open.
Another thing I want to fight for and try to figure out, I don't know how to. And it's something way beyond me, but I'm going to still try anyway.
Darth Vader is president.
It wouldn't be a bad thing.
No.
No, is the media.
Is it wrong?
The media and the government organizations that are putting out pure propaganda and straight out lies.
Yeah.
And then only putting disclaimers at the end or retractions that are never seen, and they still leave the original ad or info up like it's current news. I mean, yes, freedom of press, I'm all for it, but they should still be held to some accountability when it's something that's trying to persuade so many people to demonize something that actually is not bad.
Yeah.
It's a healthier alternative lifestyle.
Like the fact that vaping still causes Ugali. The CDC has debunked that, but yet the news media
CDC
still
and the
carries on
FDA
with
and
it.
WHO, they lost all credibility, in my opinion.
Yeah. I never had much faith in WHO to begin with. There's the baby.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Little bunny foo-foo hopping through the forest.
I just finally got to hold her for the first time since Wednesday, and he reached for her, so she started huffing in my face.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
She's had me for several days.
So I have a question.
Yes.
We might have an answer.
Can we go weird for a little bit?
I don't care.
Go weird.
Go as weird as you want. Just don't.
When were
Just
you
don't.
not weird, Josh?
Go as weird as you want. Just keep your clothes on.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Well, shit. There goes my weirdness.
As long as he kept his pants on.
So I kind of want to talk about some really other shit right now, as in shit that me and Adam have been watching.
The stuff that I turned you guys onto?
Well, we were kind of onto it before you posted.
Yeah,
that.
you just kind of heightened our enlightenment. You just heightened our enlightenment a little bit more.
Yes.
It came from the Zoom room the other day.
Yeah.
Well, the Discord.
Now, I will say some is kind of like, maybe.
That first video, though, is pretty spot on. It's pretty scary, actually, when you start watching.
Oh, dude, you really need to watch the other one. Especially, you need to watch them all. That way you can kind of see, because it puts each thing in perspective in each video. Sadly, number 5 is missing,
scary.
but 9 and 10, you're going to be like, it makes sense. Especially right at the day after you
part
sent that damn link.
It does make sense, and that's what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
It's,
So yeah,
it's
go for
scary.
it, Josh.
well, it was like maybe a day after you sent that video.
Should we
Somebody
have
made a
tinfoil
post.
hats? Tinfoil hat time.
Maybe. We're gonna kind of get in that area a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little
Maybe
bit.
go with a little galvanized aluminum right in there for now. Let's go with a little galvanized. There you go. That'll work. Aluminum.
It's
Yeah.
shiny.
But no, as soon as like the day after you sent that video, I saw a post on Facebook that really had my eyebrow raised like The Rock. And I was like, I forwarded it to Adam. I'm like, look at this shit. And then I watched that video because I'm not gonna lie, I finished it this morning. I got through the rest of everything I needed, got through with it this morning. And I was like, holy shit, what I just read on Facebook ties into this so much.
It does. Now, Tim, I will tell you, let me stop real quick just for a second. I will tell you that lady that did that video is very, very boring. She's
Yes.
hard. There was a couple times I was like,
It is.
you know, I
But
was like, oh,
she's
shit.
boring, and then when she says it, it's like, wait a minute, that makes freaking sense. I don't
You're
like
woke.
this.
You're woke. You're like,
You're
Yeah.
dozing off, and you're like, wait a minute, what? Oh,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
God. Really?
And it gets more, what was it, part 6 to part 7 gets fucked up.
it does.
There's points where it gets really fucked up, but then 9 and 10 make light out of it. It's like, all right.
It makes light of all 9 videos. I'll say 9 videos because the 5th one's missing, like we were talking. I'd like to try to find that one or see what happened. Curious to know what number 5 video is about.
Could have been taken down.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm
watch
saying.
it
Like, if
more.
it's got taken down, that means something really happened.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you see Conspiracy Theory, the movie, there with the guy from Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson. And he's talking about the black helicopters, everything, and then all of a sudden there really are black helicopters, and there's all this stuff really going on. It's like, yeah. That's kind of what that video made me feel like.
I mean, I've been aware of things since like 2013. And, I haven't really paid much attention to it over the years.
Is that when you found Mr. Winky? 2013? You've been aware since then?
But there's a lot that goes to play behind the scenes. That
you want some proof of that? I mean, we know some truth on that. Look at the Hillary Clinton situation. I actually voted for that election, and then a few months later, you found out all this stuff about all the things she did. Like, damn.
Knowing what I know about them now, they are not good people.
No,
they are not good people.
I'm gonna take Josh, the top part of that post, the people that's listed on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna show that to Tim, and everybody else as well. Now it is circulating, and of course there's a lot of people. Oh, you damn tinfoil hat wearing stupid mofos.
There's nothing you can. I don't think there's anything wrong with. You can put a link to that video in the chat.
That's true. Let's take a look at these real quick, okay? Now, when Josh first shared this with me, I looked at this and I was like, huh. So I'm reading, CEO of Disney stepped down, CEO of Tender Hinge, OkCupid Match all stepped down, CEO of Hulu stepped down, MedMen, L Brands, Victoria's Secret. Started looking, I'm like, started typing away, started just researching these different CEOs just to see if there's any point to this. Yes. You look up all these CEO people and you will see they have stepped down or have been removed. And that was just the start of this post. The post goes on and on
I
and
have
on.
no idea why they stepped down. So I'm watching this like I don't know. I'm watching like the people.
Yeah, the fact that there's so many of these big company CEOs stepping down, it makes you like, okay, what's really going on?
And
There's something to it. Go ahead, Josh.
and that's where the video you sent
Yep.
ties into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So part 9 and 10, those two things go hand in hand together.
Yeah. But the thing is, the sad part is you got to watch all 9 of them, because when you get into like 6 through 10, they do a lot of referencing of going back to like video 2, video 3, even video 1. So that way it makes the trail a lot easier to follow.
Because it's confusing.
It does.
There's times I had to rewind and try to figure out what the hell I was like. Because they kind of start talking about one individual going to another one, to another one, to another one. It's like, who are these people?
Right.
Who are
And
they?
what I'll do is I will post video 1.
Like I did for you guys.
Yeah, I will post it in the description. But for those of you, I'll also add it into the description to make sure that they watch
I
the
watched
other.
that video and it's like, hey, you know what? These guys might like this. This is interesting.
It come out to be very well. We watched, me and Josh had watched another one that was only supposed to be, and it was only up for 24 hours, and then the guy took it back down, and it tied a lot into these other two, this post and the video that you shared. It tied into that very well. When things like that come together and they're tied in such a way, I have to lean into a little bit more into
My
belief.
guess is this is a lot like the Metal Gear Solid series, a lot like Layla Lu or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. But it is very interesting, to say the least. You can look at it as a conspiracy theorist, whatever. We know that. Should I go ahead and just kind of say what it's about, or should
I mean,
keep it as a surprise?
I'm okay if you go ahead and do it.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I mean,
we can have our conspiracy
basically, and this, I'm gonna put these are in my words what I think and who is involved, and I'll say 2 main people and just leave it at that. Of course, there's other people involved in making this.
You just said it's your thoughts, your opinions, so therefore it's not slander.
My theory is, because of number 10 video, well, what Trump said, my theory is Trump is involved in making this happen, along with Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
This is where the whole play comes into with the Ukraine BS. Okay, this is where the play comes in with the impeachment trial. You start putting everything together, you're seeing all these CEOs step down. Okay. Tim, basically, this is a roundup of pedophiles and child trafficking.
Yes.
Around the globe.
Yes.
2 former presidents will be arrested. A pope will be arrested. There are several, and we all know this. We all know this for a fact. Several actors and actresses and performers are going to be arrested. There was a couple I was kind of like, but I can't say yay or nay because I honestly don't know. What a couple of them that there were
research. It's a best guess scenario anyway. It might be someone else.
You know,
even if it's true, it doesn't mean it's that person per se necessarily.
Right. You know, this is an issue. This is a if you want to call it a pandemic of an issue. Yes, it's been going on for years. The Clintons are highly involved with that. You know, people keep trying to say, "Oh, that's a bunch of bullshit that was circulated." Well, why was there 33,000 damn emails destroyed?
That whole thing, I did not believe that whole real thing that came out in the news. It's like, wait a minute, she really did this? That can't be. That's not the same Hillary I've been watching. And I was like, you know what? She really did it. the conspiracy theory was real, which
Yeah.
makes you think,
Mhm.
Do I have an
could there be
online
more?
subscription?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you know, if someone
do you mean
like
for
Hillary,
Pokemon Go, or is that for everything?
It's for
who
everything.
is, yeah, she's very well known, one, because of her husband, two, because of her political background and her being Secretary of State and everything. Yeah, she's a pretty high up person. But you think if someone like Hillary can do it, who else can do it?
Well, you have to
Well,
think about it. Woo. Out of there's one major suicide that
Epstein didn't kill himself.
there we go. Because of that information there, there's a lot of names.
And these videos, I think it's the same video. It might have been the one video that got removed. I can't remember because those two videos, some of the, and they're very similar. But one of them had mentioned, I think it was the series of videos. The lady had mentioned about Donald Trump's uncle, John Trump.
Yes.
Very key figure in the, not so much the political world, but
Scientific.
more on the scientific side. In 1943, he tried to get Tesla's patents repatented because, you know, we all know how Tesla went down.
Oh, Tesla got
Edison got all the credit, you know.
Oh yeah.
So John
Tesla got
Trump,
screwed. He really got screwed.
yeah, he did. But the thing is, John Trump tried to recapture those patents that Tesla had, was actually building more free energy for World War II. Because they're like,
I
we
remember
have
that.
this energy that we know how to harness it. Let's make it portable so we can use it for our troops, you know. Hence comes the cell phone with the wind up. That was all part of Tesla and Trump's
Oh, you mean like the
basically.
field phones? The
Yes.
wound up field phones? I
Mhm.
did not realize that was part of it.
I did some more researching on John Trump, and yeah, come to find out he was tied into that. But now, here's another one. You look at all the pictures of John Trump. Now, of course, 90% of them are black and white because this was back in the 30s and 40s. Then look at Julian Assange's picture. They look identical. I mean, to a T. So, like the guy said, is it a coincidence that they look alike? Could it be that Assange and Trump are cousins? Is it a possibility? Who knows? It's definitely left open to speculation, but it damn sure makes you think, you know. There's so much that we don't know that
The
goes
worst part
on.
is you can't, even if you had proof it was wrong, there's still doubt because who came up with
Yep.
the proof?
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, that's tough. Conspiracy theory is one of those things that you open up that window and you start to wonder. But that first video I sent you guys opened my eyes a little bit, make me wonder because it makes more sense than the reality we knew.
Right.
Yeah, it
makes
does.
a lot more sense than the reality we knew. Think about the 9/11 instance that talked about. It's like, I kind of wondered about that time, but I kind of let it pass because at the time I was working for General Electric. It's like aircraft engines. It's like, that's kind of weird, but maybe. And then after they talked about it, it's like, did that go down the way they said?
You know,
it
it's with all the conspiracy theorists that's taking place, you know, of course, the two big ones are 9/11 and JFK. That's probably the two biggest ones out there to me, you know. There is other ones out there with like HARP, stuff like that. You know, I really don't, the chemtrails, I don't follow those as much. I don't brush it off completely, but to me, 9/11 and JFK, and I'll put it in the simplest terms. You take the day's events that happen on those days, 9/11 and the day that JFK was assassinated. You look at the day's events as it happened, they don't make sense. None of them.
Think about, they say the chemtrail thing. We know that they did Agent Orange, and we know that they did the crop dusting thing down in Mexico for the marijuana. So we know they're capable of doing something that shady.
Right.
Is it possible?
Well,
I can't say no. I would have never
think
thought they'd do that, but they did.
you said you watched the first video, and toward the end of the video, they kind of touch on the caravan coming from Honduras up through Mexico and all that. Now the second video really gets into that, and it points some stuff out. And they're figuring the time, according to the news, the time it took for them to leave Honduras, move through the different countries down there, and then come through Mexico.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They would have had to move like 50 miles a day approximately.
They were saying 45 miles a day, and here they are, barefooted in flip-flops with painted fingernails and not a stick of dirt on their
bloody feet within a few miles.
Yeah, the kids are all clean and everything, and the people are clean. They got nice clothes on. They're using cell phones, and
I was curious because they didn't actually go into detail about what they thought, just the fact that was strange. And it's like, that is strange. Now I'm kind of curious what you mean. I almost did watch the second video.
And then you had a day of smoke bombs, and then that was the last you heard of it. Yeah. Really? You mean that many people migrated up and not one of them tried to come over the fence? That was the last of it.
Walked that far and it just like disappeared.
Yeah. Just faded into the mist, Yeah, that's a conspiracy theorist. You're just thinking wrong. That's not right, because that really did happen.
But explain that, because that was actual news footage of this caravan walking. And if it wasn't a staged situation, how are these kids and people walking barefoot and in flip-flops 45 miles a day for what, 2 weeks, was it, something like that?
I forgot what the length of time is, but
they figured extremely long period.
They figured in the mileage from where they started to where they stopped at the U.S. border. They took that mileage, broke it down into the days it took them to do that, and it come up to be like right at 45 miles a day. And there's no way in hell, that they could have done this, especially wearing flip-flops, or barefooted. But then you look at the videos, and you even see.
I remember when that was on TV, and I never caught that.
Yeah.
Pointing that out.
Yeah, none of us did, I don't think, at that time.
That almost feels like the moon landing theory, you know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah, I was kind of, when it happened, when the caravan happened, I was skeptical, and I was like, this is just too hard to believe.
I'll be honest, I didn't pay much attention to it. It didn't matter.
No, I didn't pay much attention to it either, to be honest.
I just saw it on the news, like, yeah, okay. And then when this video came out and I was watching it, at first I was like, yeah, so I still don't care. And then when I pointed out the details, like, that's strange.
And then the fact that I've even seen some videos of the point that the reason why Trump is wanting to put up a wall is because of the Border Patrol housing on our side, how they treat the people, which they do. They treat them very poorly. They're basically concentration camps. You have this building, and then you have this big fenced off field that they stand in all day during the heat. They're not allowed to go inside unless they're called upon to be processed or whatever.
Well, South Park even touches on that a little bit.
Yeah. And it's weird how you can watch some little shows like that give.
Remember Mexican Joker episode?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even some of the Simpson videos have touched on it, which I think Mike Judge and all.
Run downstairs.
Mike Judge and
these shows are created by people that have that mindset.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they all come from they come out from the same rooftop. It's like, gosh, they think a lot alike, which they do.
They do, but at the same time, they realize something's not right. It's like they know something's not right here. So let's toy with this a little bit.
What turned me on to 9/11 as far as not believing the story that's out there? The fact of what they said on live news, the fact of when it happened, and then not even 2 hours later, they literally, and they show it on CNN, they find a fucking passport of one of the terrorists on the streets of New York.
How?
Exactly.
They throw it out the plane window as they're going down, because it would have burned up instantly on impact.
Exactly. And see, you take things like that, just like, okay, you look at Shanksville, PA, where the third plane landed, or would be the fourth plane. You look at the aerial footage from, doesn't matter, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, you look at all those. Where's the plane?
That they pointed that out in that first video. Like, where'd that other plane go? It just gone.
Let's go to the Pentagon.
It's just a crash site, but there's nothing there.
Let's go to the Pentagon. The width of the plane is like 165 foot, wingtip to wingtip, but there's only like a 40-foot hole. Why isn't there small spaces where the wings? Okay, they could have said that the fuselage completely went into the building. All right, well, it didn't protrude out the other side because the fuselage was actually longer than the width of that section of the building.
The fuselage is the wings.
Yeah.
How did that go through the building? There's two of them, one on each side.
Or the fact that they hit and didn't fall off.
They're designed to do that.
They're designed to collapse. Why was there a 1957 Rolls-Royce jet engine laying out in the Pentagon lawn?
Yeah, because that certainly wasn't a 747 or whatever it was. No.
You don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. They do. Their engines are, they don't just run these planes a couple of years and then sell them. They run them for quite a while and maintain the hell out of them. They take care of them. But after about 20 years, they start getting rid of them. They start selling.
They do recommission engines sometimes. They do, but was that? I never checked into it, but was that engine actually compatible with the plane?
No, it was not compatible to the. What was that? It went into the Pentagon. Was it a DC-9?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's a DC-9 or DC-10, but it was not compatible because at that time, Boeing wasn't even using the. They were using not the Rolls-Royce. Was it Grumman? I can't remember. There's one like your Lockheeds. A lot of those are like GE engine turbine engines.
We took a big hit after 9/11 for our non-military planes.
Yeah,
because it slowed down the traffic. There was a lot of scare going on with our jobs.
And another thing that threw me off about 9/11, how in the hell did that damn building number 7 collapse 8 hours later? From office furnishing fires.
Well, that and somehow it superheated in the bottom and collapsed, which is kind of interesting.
There was no fire in the bottom of building 7.
Well, that's just it. They had people coming down the stairs and made it out. Some of the people made it out from the bottom levels. If the fuel went in there, it would have only taken a minute to get to the bottom, and there would have been a fire. I mean, the fuselage is huge, but that wouldn't have went more than a couple stories. Those bottom stories should have been on fire and so hot and superheated.
Yeah.
There's no way anybody could survive those bottom levels. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, they're saying, where, the planes went in between the 80th and 100th floors, they're saying, well, because the plane went in, it broke the structure on those floors. So basically, you had all this weight from the upper floors all the way up to the 110th floor that fell on the rest of the building and made it fall like a pancake. I don't believe that.
What I find strangest about that, too, is it looked like someone demolished the planes, demolished those buildings. It literally looked like one of those construction videos you see where they're taking down the old
demolition.
Building. It fell straight down.
Yeah.
Did you notice the plumes that come out of the windows as it
rolled? To have a plane crash into a building and have it, have those planes crash into the building, have it come down that perfect.
Yeah. Well,
that was strange. Even when I watched it live, I was like, "That's really weird."
Let me put a little insight. Now we all know that Building 7 was what, a block and a half, 2 blocks away, something like that. Wasn't that far away, but the fact it wasn't even touched by a plane. Okay. Even the collapse of the buildings. Yes, there were churches that were close by, other buildings that did get hit with pieces that fell from the Twin Towers onto these buildings, and it did cause some damage. But the fact that at the time was called was it Securicom, I believe it was called, which was headed by none other than Melvin Bush. Is it Melvin? I got to go back. It's been a minute since I've touched on this.
It's been a long time.
It's a cousin of the Bush brothers. Jeb,
there was
George,
speculation that there were things in the sub
Marvin Bush.
They were trying to hide, and they were trying to, when they made the nuke replacement buildings, they were trying to build something in or hide something.
Yeah.
And I've seen stranger things with our government.
Yeah. Why did that plane hit exactly right in the middle of the budget analyst office at the Pentagon? Really? The same place where $1.7 trillion came up missing the day before.
Yep. I think you shared that video.
Yeah. It's
It might be conspiracy theory.
Oh well, I don't think it was a video. I think it was an
but,
article
you know,
or something.
there are a lot of questions that the logical answer, if you really look at it, is not what they told us.
exactly,
No.
and that's what I point out.
Stretch real hard to believe the story we were told.
Yeah. The whole thing about Osama being Tim Osman, that's a possibility. I don't lean on it a lot. But if you remember, if you watched it when this had taken place, if you remember, every so often Osama would release a video. Over the years, He would release a video. If you noticed, each video they shared, the younger he looked, the younger he looked, the younger he looked, and it's like, this shit don't make sense, because when you first started hearing about Osama, which
you saw of him, he looked old and ancient. Like he was
yeah,
about to
when
die
you
and
first
die.
started seeing him, even before 9/11, they were showing that this is someone that
Decrepit old man,
it has deep interest. We're following this guy because of ISIS that we're learning. He looked old and decrepit. He really did,
Here's
and
the
then
next thing, if ISIS is following him, and if it is a hoax, then ISIS itself isn't what it's supposed to be. It's impossible for it to have been.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something else.
5,000.
So when ISIS knocks on your door tonight or breaks down your door, you know why.
Yeah. I am going to offer a glass of tea, though. I will be nice. I don't have any cornbread to give them, though. I didn't make cornbread, so they're going to be short.
What kind of host are you? No cornbread. Jeez.
I got marshmallows.
What are they going to do? Roast it over your corpse? I mean,
I guess. And they can put it on their finger. There you go. La, la, la. Do like Fire Marshal Bill. Let's just say.
Oh my.
Let me show you something.
You shared the video, didn't you? I started watching him, and we started watching him, It's like, oh my god.
That was such a classic character.
The school, when he goes into the school, you know how dangerous this is, and they.
Let's just say.
You shouldn't do this, and he does it. You shouldn't do this, and he does it.
Let's just say you just so happened to spill some gas into the fish aquarium.
And I have marshmallows to roast. I'm ready.
He's like, and you strike a match by accident. Let me show you something.
Like this. Yeah.
That crazy ass. I really wish he would. And I'll tell you why he didn't do it, but I wish he really would have made a movie with Fire Marshal Bill. But if you watch the interview, he said to do Fire Marshal Bill is so hard to do. As far as that facial, he said it puts him in severe pain to make that facial expression, and to hold it longer than like a minute.
And he does such method acting that he likes to stay in the role. The whole movie, it could have been one like the other one he did, where he couldn't hardly. It was hard for him to get out of it.
Right.
You're talking about Man on the Moon.
Yep.
Yeah.
He played Andy Kaufman.
Let me read this comment, then I'll go into that just for a second. Mike posted, Magic Iraq face mud. Look 5 years younger or your money back. I like that.
All you got to do is start looking younger is become a terrorist.
Yeah, exactly. You heard about Jim Carrey as far as playing the character of Andy Kaufman in Man on the Moon. That he
did a whole video. I never watched the movie. I watched the documentary about him doing it.
Yeah, about him slipping into
how hard it was to him to come out, and he was forever changed from it.
Yeah, that movie literally messed him up. It really did mentally, because he said he was doing okay until he started doing the Tony Clifton parts, and that's when he really lost it. Because if you remember Tony Clifton, that dude was just straight up asshole. And
Yep.
to be in that mentality of how Andy Kaufman pulled it off is beyond me. Because, I mean, Andy Kaufman was far fetched to begin with, but then to sink down into Tony and be like, oh my God, that is just like, that's insane. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. You know, how them two did, how he was able to pull off the different characters
To
that
be
he
honest
did.
with you, Hank.
Yeah. I mean, hell, look at Lotka. That was a strange character in itself, you know.
Jim
Thank you
Carrey
very
is an
much.
amazing actor. He really is.
Yeah, you know.
And then if you actually look into, he did that background story thing, biography like thing. I don't know if he did or someone else did it, explaining his past and his upbringing and how he started in comedy in the first place.
Yeah, he was homeless.
Well, no, he started it to try and what was his mother was extremely sick, and he used to do it to try and cheer her up. So even the comedy comes from a dark place for that reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
like,
it, you know, and that bothers me. It makes me wonder if we're going to have another Robin Williams. Honestly,
I don't ever want to see that again.
I don't
Although
either.
The Robin Williams thing, the last I read about it, it was actually not intentional to die. But regardless, it was a great loss to entertainment.
It was because he was one of my favorite
Okay.
actors. I mean,
Yeah.
the way that he could carry. Oh shit!
The way he could do any role.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I always thought comedy, and then he came out with like 1 hour photo.
Yeah.
And what was the other
That's
one?
like
Insomnia. And
yeah.
roles, it's like, that's believable to a scary level.
Yeah, like Bicentennial Man. That was
a good movie.
You know,
we
that
just
really
watched
hit
the new
me.
Aladdin recently, and that was the hardest part why it took me so long to watch it, because I knew that I was gonna start thinking about him, and I didn't want to do that because
Right,
so
exactly, and it's so hard to watch stuff with him. I tried to watch RV the other day, which is one of his funniest movies.
Favorite movie by him. I have it on DVD.
You know, and I had a hard time watching it. It's like, you know, it's like no.
And I will say, Will Smith did a great job at the new Genie. He really did.
Yeah,
he did. But
yes, he did.
When they showed the clip at the end, is what it got me. When they did the end on the credits, when they showed the original Genie and Robin Williams' voice came out, it hit the
yeah,
right from the Star Ocean. That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, you know. But
I have no idea how we got here from all this.
Yeah, and
how did we wind up talking about actors?
And look at this. Look at the time.
Yeah.
Is it time?
No, it's the fact that I'm still awake.
He's still awake, and then
you're interested in this. We got to start off with the serious stuff early, and then get to this stuff later.
Yeah.
But this is good because this is something that's really got me thinking this past off and on.
You know, and with everything going on, and you have to take everything lightly.
On this one.
Right.
The only thing I would suggest, if you haven't looked into it, look into it, is like the ID 2020,
Real ID,
along those lines. Pay attention to what's going on right now. It will all make sense.
I am paying attention. You're right there. I'm watching you. I'm listening to you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Now.
But also do your, you know, we all do your own little research.
We're living in a very strange time with a lot of things that don't make sense right now. So
and if they order mandatory vaccines, avoid them.
You know, I've been thinking that for a while.
Yeah, I have to.
Well,
I don't.
That's right. I mean, I'm not.
When they have mandatory vaccines with mercury in them, I know mercury causes mercury poisoning, but it's mandatory to take. Think about that.
Yeah.
See how that works now.
Things that make you go, what the hell?
Yeah,
we're beyond the We're like, what the hell? You know.
Yeah, I mean that's just
I
would suggest anybody look into is just the ID 2020.
Right. And the thing is, Tim, you take now as compared to, we'll just go 10 years. We'll go 10 years back. We won't even go back to 9/11. Go back to 10 years and look how many eyes are open now as compared to then. Now, whether
Mhm.
every single little thing has truth behind it, no.
No.
But
Look at how
the
much, like even with the vape community, how many sheep there were that flocked to this belief because this government said something.
Yeah.
They have people programmed to instantly believe them. Even now, people still flock to the CDC, the WHO, and the FDA, knowing that they admitted to lying, but yet they still believe them and think that, oh, is this a mistake?
it
That
was
was
just
no
a hiccup.
mistake. They knew what they were doing. They even half told the
Yeah.
truth several times. They knew it
Mm-hmm.
and they lied to it, and they still shadily don't admit it straightforward and
Right.
publicize it. You don't see the publications like, oh, by the way, this is what it is. People died from those THC cartridges because they didn't release the information.
Yeah.
Those
Exactly.
people actually got sick and died for that.
Exactly.
And in the US, the population's like, well, they're trying. No, they're not. They
No,
killed
that's
people.
the problem. They're doing quite the
They
opposite.
killed people knowingly to try and demonize vape, which has nothing to do with what happened.
And you look at things like taking place like right in this very moment right now. But then you start thinking back about some of the other things, whether it be 9/11, JFK. Hell, let's even go further back than that. Let's go back to MK Ultra. We all know that happened. That did happen. That has been proven. There is information out there that you can read about MK Ultra, what the government did. That's out in the open now. Okay.
And that's recent.
Yeah.
And
They've been
that's
doing shady things since what year was it they did that crop
He
dusting
just messaged you.
and Agent Orange? That's back in the 70s.
no, when they did it over in
Agent
Vietnam,
Orange
that
was
was like in 68, 69 into
Exactly.
70
But
when
they've
they
been
done
doing
it.
shady stuff since back then
And I'll tell you now,
that we know is true.
that's why my father's not here. It's because of Agent Orange.
I
It
have an
killed him.
uncle that's not here for that same reason.
He flew one of the planes that sprayed Agent Orange.
Yep.
So it got him in the end. And he has this
Come
man used to
here.
have a lot of nightmares. He would be trapped into a nightmare and actually get up and out of bed and come into my room and sit down and start talking to me. And some of the stuff he told me was like, wow.
He's giving you stuff.
Floored me. You know, there's a lot of things that he was involved with that I had. None of
The
us
way
had
you
a
would
clue.
normally pick
None
up?
of us. We knew that he was fairly high. I'm not talking like an admiral or anything, but even at his position, he knew a lot of stuff. He had access to the Pentagon. He knew stuff, and the things that just watching him on a daily basis, how he acted, you could tell there was something going on inside here that he wasn't acting as a normal person you think would be, you know. And we all know, you know, especially today, people's like, well, you can't say that there's a, you know, you can't read a person say that's normal, but you can kind of tell when a person is not acting as they should, you know.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just we know the government has been shady. We know
Yeah.
right now with the vaping industry, it has been so thick at all levels of government. We're not talking just federal this time. We're talking federal, state, whole city. It's been shady in a lot of areas, a lot of places. Obviously, they can't have 100% corruption or people wouldn't believe stuff. So there are some areas that are just going with the hype.
Ladder.
Yeah.
But there's some areas that it's almost set in
Give me a
stone before
ladder.
it even started.
Right.
Going to happen.
That's it. Well, guys, I know it's getting close to that time, so I'll probably go ahead and we'll kind of start doing a closure because we discussed 90 minutes and here we are 120 minutes. It's like, well,
Well, we got into different stuff, so
yeah. You know, and that's, you know, really that's what this channel is about. You know, yeah, we do cover vaping, and that's usually one of the first things we try to go over is the vaping. Of course, with this going on,
Vaping and whatever situation's happening at the moment. And although it is hard to talk about, it there's many things that need to be talked about. Keep your hygiene up.
Yep.
You know, keep yourself clean. Wash. What was it your grandmother posted?
Wash your hands like you just ate a whole bag of Cheetos and you're about to crochet with pure white yarn.
There you go.
That's it. Exactly. You know, yeah, I mean, if you have to tote a bottle of this one, I don't recommend it, but right now I do recommend it. On the norm, let me rephrase that. On the norm, I don't recommend using this on it every time you turn around.
And I hate
But
to
right
say
now,
this, there's another conspiracy theory that thought. Ready? It
Yeah.
would make more sense now than it did back when it happened. Now I would understand if kids were eating Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Back then it made no sense. Now it would make some sense.
I'm trying to cleanse my insides.
Exactly. Rather than just why do it? Because
Right.
everybody else is doing it. Okay.
That's it. That's it. So, but yeah, just guys, make sure you take care of yourself. Wash your hands. Keep yourself clean. Keep it 6 foot distance. If you're around more than 10 people, they're not trying to tell you what you can and can't do. They're suggesting what you should be doing to keep yourself healthy. That's what all this is about. When you get out there and you come to like my area and come to my beach and you're elbow to elbow, that tends to be a problem, and that's what they're trying to avoid. So, you know, stay at home if you're not working. Stay at home if you're
I
able to work at
recommend
home. Keep a schedule. If you're working at home, keep the same schedule that you would normally do when you go to work. So if you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready for work, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, go enjoy your coffee or whatever, and then whatever time you normally start work, that's when you start your work at home.
If you another thing is contact someone. Think about it every day while this is going on, and if you are at home, stuck at home, can't do anything else anyway, reach out and contact a family member or a friend or something you haven't talked to in a while. Check on them, make sure they're all right. If you go through that list, and after a while, you'll be starting to contact people you weren't contacting that long ago. And then everybody's keeping social contact, which will keep you out of depression, and you might save someone's life, maybe even your own.
Right, that's it. That's it. Michael just asked, I haven't seen any anti-vaxxers lately. I wonder what happened. Well, here's one right here, bro. I'm an anti-vaxxer. So they're out here, you know. Just more things are taking place that's, you know, kind of right now important for the moment. But yeah, just, you know, use common sense. Take care of yourself. Keep yourself clean. You know, soap and water if you don't have sanitizer, which soap and water is actually better, but sanitizer is all you got. You know, don't hoard it. God forbid, if you're going to get a few extra, get some for some friends. Understandable, but just don't. You know, there's not going to be a bunch of zombies come running out in the next 6 months. And I did not hear the purge horn tonight, so I think we're okay. Because today is March 21st.
It is Purge Day. Yes.
It's Purge Day, so didn't hear any horns, so you know, we're safe. We made it. We made it through the day without a purge, so we're good.
Maybe next year.
Maybe, yeah, maybe next year. We'll see what happens. But
I'll put on my calendar again.
Yeah. Once again, Tim, if you want to plug that in for next weekend again, real quick.
The Vaping Misfits on the True Vapor channel is doing a charity. They're going to be auctioning off a lot of vape gear, including some really nice things from lots of companies. One that stuck out to me because I kind of want it is the Bearded Viking has two the Zaddy stands, the Skull Addy stands that are going to be auctioned off. There's a few. Don't mention them all because I'm going to be bidding on some of them.
Right.
But when you get there, it's going to be going on from 4 p.m. Eastern time to 4 a.m. Eastern time because they're actually
12 hours. Yeah.
They're not local, but they're still going to be doing this, and it's all the
you left it
making this are going to be going to really good mental health charities.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the guys do have Tourette's, so be prepared. There might be some.
We'll keep it with zany.
Some Tourette's moments, and I mean, if you can and you're willing to go ahead and laugh with them, they'd rather you do that than actually look at them and just strangely. I mean, it's just go with the flow. They don't mind. They're not going to get offended. They'd be more offended by the fact that you're taking a step back instead of just going.
Right. And again, they're over in the UK, so
right. And they're very, very good people. And
I've watched them a few times.
Mental health is important.
Great people.
Take care of yourselves, you know, first. If you feel anxiety or depression, make sure you contact somebody, a friend, family. I mean, if you want to try and get a hold of me, I'm here.
Right, and I'm gonna put something. I'm gonna plug this in real quick. If you're getting overstressed with everything, the best advice I can give you: stay off Facebook, avoid it for a little bit, step away from it, step away. I understand that you want to keep up with what's going on. We all totally get it. But to sit
Limit
there
your time.
from the time you
Check
wake
it
up to
once
the
a day
time
or
you go to
twice a day.
sleep, take a break. Go outside. You know, take
Go
if
watch
you're
a
at
movie
home,
or something.
watch a movie,
Yeah.
walk around the block. You know, take the dog outside and play with the dog, or take the kids out and play baseball or something. You sit there and you dwell on
Grab
that
yourself a bunny.
the entire time you're awake. You're gonna drive yourself nuts before you really need to get to that point. We're not even at that point yet, and I'm seeing a lot of people that's
You
freaking
don't
out
have
for
it
no
available
reason.
yet.
Like, relax, people. We got this. We'll be okay. Just be patient and take it with stride, and don't overwhelm yourself. Okay, you know, that's the advice I can give for tonight.
Get yourself a bunny and cuddle it.
Exactly. There you go. Because petting a bunny or something like a bunny will don't make all the problems go away, even if it's for 5
Use that
minutes.
plaza. Go to the plaza.
Yeah.
And don't let yourself just lay in bed the whole time. That if you're feeling depressed, that's one of the worst things you can do. That's when things get worse.
Yeah.
Get out, talk to people, contact somebody. And like I said, try to contact somebody even if you're not feeling the depression. At least once or twice a day, try to get a hold of somebody they haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah.
You know,
And if you're in the retail,
it might help them as well as you, and it might keep you from falling into that
Yeah.
depression or anxiety.
and if you're in a business where you work the public, be upbeat.
And
Keep
be
an
good
upbeat.
to the people that
Keep
are
a good positive attitude, because if someone comes in negative, they're going to bring you down if you let them. But you have the ability to turn that around.
that goes for consumers as well. Be nice to
Yep.
the people that are out there still working
Yeah,
on the front
exactly.
lines of this pandemic. It's not their fault that somebody else or they're running out of product or don't have the product you need. It's not their fault. Don't take it out on them.
Yep.
Respect
You gotta
them
think about it.
and maybe even thank them if you can.
Yeah.
You come into our shops, we're still dealing with the effects of China being on lockdown.
Yep.
So we're not getting stuff in from China.
Well, I hadn't even thought about that.
And then we also have to
Yeah.
worry, then also the manufacturers or distros can't always get their stuff in either right now. So it's,
Josh, do you have any rebuildables still in your store, or you running out of those too?
we have rebuildables. We haven't got to that point yet with people.
If somebody's having problems getting their usual sub-ohm tank coils or whatever, or pods, whatever.
Buy a simple RDA, honestly.
Get an RDA, you know, someone will be willing to help you. I guarantee you can find somebody in the community willing to help you try to build it and learn how to use it properly, because right now,
It's the best thing to have.
The best thing you can do, because that way there you always have your bait. It'll keep you from the cigarettes and stuff, and the more people on cigarettes are more likely to have to go out every day or two to get something.
Yeah.
And that puts you in more danger.
You know, if you're a DIYer, this is the best thing for you right now, because you're able to do it at home and you don't have to get out. That's awesome. You know,
don't rely on vape to keep you safe from the virus. There is a potential that it might help kill the virus, but there's no guarantee for starters. Even if it did work, it wouldn't necessarily kill 100% of the virus.
Probably didn't drop it yet.
Right.
But it might.
He probably didn't drop it yet.
It could potentially limit chances.
Right. That's it. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a good week. Stay safe.
YouTube, be safe out there.
Body's clean. Y'all have a good one, and we will catch y'all next weekend.
Peace.
Peace.